Howdy, peeps. That's what kind of day I've been having. Quite a few of those lately. I've not been making much footage lately. I had a bunch of stuff on my phone and I got off and I dated it, and there's a whole bunch of clips that I couldn't really make a video out of, but they're all cool clips and I don't want to just trash them. So I'm going to make while I'm in a good mood tonight, I'm going to make a daggone clip video about clips and stuff, and maybe talk to you guys about the things that are going on in our world here at the company and stuff, and what's going on. So let's dive in. All right, the Talboy Lowboy project. How many of these? Wait a minute. Well, I had like half of one so far. But the Talbot Lowboy project is on hold right now. These are some pictures I had of it and some video I had of it. This project's on hold right now. Now, we tore it down. We pulled all the bent metal off of it that was creased, that we wanted to get rid of, that was holding the main frame rails bent. We got to fix the main frame rails. Well, we took the Lowboy down to Ruxer's, and Ruxer's put it on their frame rack and bent it all straight again. Talked to Talbot, and what Talbot's going to have us do, they want me to go ahead and strap the bottom main beams, because he said usually when a Lowboy goes through something of this nature, they highly recommend strapping the main beams, which is where you flip the Lowboy over and stitch down through there with a piece of, I forget what series of steel they're using. It's like a 1/2 inch by like a 4-inch by 1/2 inch bar out of really good stuff, high tensile strength stuff. So, and they're going to send me new cross members and new side rails, the I-beam side rails and stuff, and then we'll get all that welded back in there and get the thing put back together. So that's where we're at on it. But we're putting that on hold till this winter because we don't really have time to screw with it right now. We're trying to beef our inventory up. It is August of whatchamacallit right now, and we're trying to get geared up to start beefing inventory for our sawmill to get through the winter this winter. And have extra yards on the log, vice versa, for this winter. So this has been pushed off till this winter. I need to get a hold of Talbot in the next couple months and get our steel coming in, so at least it's sitting there waiting on us instead of us waiting on it. The next thing is this grapple. Now, we bought a 748 G3 part skidder a while back, and my buddy Wes from West Virginia said, hey, I need a grapple for my skidder and I want a big one. Do you got one that's decent? I said, yeah, I got one that's decent. Hell, I'll sell it to you for $500. You can have it. So we took the grab off the boom and stuff, and he drove all the way out from West Virginia one day to pick it up. These was some sprockets from a resaw we've been having trouble with. We run like a serpentine chain to get all these rollers to run, and then the jump chains to jump up in amongst them. And in doing all this, you have to have multiple idler sprockets. It's kind of like a serpentine for your belt on your car. Well, the bearings have been ball bearings, and I can't stand ball bearings. Unless it's in a spot that you have to have ball bearings, use needle bearings. So we're on a mission trying to get needle bearings for these, and I think we finally got the job done. I don't know if this will show this good enough, but look at all this lumber. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of it. Mama said, we're going to steal some guys out of the shop, do some trucking today. She said, we're going to need it. Oh, man. I'm a very busy man. I got a lot going on, and I don't do real good with my kids as far as spending time with them a lot like I want to. But that's my 11-year-old. He said, I said, be careful with it. He said, can I park it? I said, I don't care, but you be careful with it. See if he can get it right. He'll get it figured out. I told him put it over against the log stack and spin the head around towards me. He'll get it. Now spin the head around. Oh, he's gonna leave it like that. This was some pictures I had of the RIP project that I don't think made it in the video there. There's our drives and some rollers and stuff we had stored, and there's a Dodge gearbox there, the torque arm box. And there's a gizmo we had to test it in the shop, which worked pretty good. It was a little bit, it wasn't perfect, but it's pretty good. Here is one of the conveyors we're building. This was the conveyor that come out of the RIP saw itself, and that's going to stack up into the bins or strip bins. And there's just some layout pictures of it. As I was going along, I just stop every once in a bit and snap some. It turned out really good. Really happy with it. Still got to do a concave cover, a cover over it, because the rain can get in there and screw up that belt, and in the winter time you'll get the belt freezing to the thing. Now that belt that they were building, the other one, this little belt here upside down, this is the feedback on belt. This is what feeds our rips back on to in front of the lumber grader, so the lumber grader can re-look it over and make sure that you ripped it. Number one, you ripped it right. Then number two, what the grade looks like to him. So we're usually, when you're ripping, you're trying to upgrade part of the board or get unsound wood off the side of the board through edging strips or whatever, but that's kind of what. So, and here's the drive system for the feedback on belt, and Rick and Ball modified that guard. So Rick and Ball's been going on about how that's his part of the project that he was pretty proud of, and hope the rest of the project that we do our part to make it look as good as his guard does. That was Robin's table. They're carrying it down the loader, and then there's the off feed belt, and there's some of the electrical work we're starting to do on the rip saw to hook it up itself. There are some of the boxes on the walls going in. What we got a problem with, boys? What you trying to tell your mommy?
These biscuits are rock hard. Like if I squeeze them.
Can we drive a nail with that?
Yeah, these things are made of cardboard, sir.
You're gonna break the plate. So we ordered us a new plasma cutter. We toasted the old one because I tried to wire up my torch and I think I blowed it up. Turn to find out, wiring up one of these plasma cutters is way more complex than it seems. So I told him I'm sick of. I told him what did I tell him that day? I said there's two things gonna happen in the next 15 minutes. I talked to old boy up there. So two things gonna happen in the next 15 minutes. Either this thing's gonna cut metal, or this plasma cutter's going out in the parking lot. We're gonna run over to the wheel loader. So, well, it blowed up. So here we are. And this is how well this guy took care of us, and I wanted to record this. He's not paying me to do this. He don't even know. This is just how they treat people. Look at this. Ain't that cute? It says UPS return box on side here for return other cable. Note, highway, use this plasma torch with this cutter. I pinned it already because that's why I screwed up. To use with plasma cutter, just return cable that you pinned for Lincoln with UPS box and return label. See, ain't that cute? All right. Avortech is the, oh, here's the return. This return package? I guess. Yeah, the different, those consumables. We take good care of a guy. He's already wired up the plug. He didn't want me to screw up at all. Jeff down there. So Jeff said, this baby, if you get an 80, you'll know you got a hold of something when you go to cut. And he said it starts at an 80. Of course, you can go with a big plasma cutter and whatever, but his out, peoples. Look, he's got everything. So the air regulator mount bracket.
Oh, he's got a label for you?
He's a daggone sweetheart. Look at that, would you? Torch, ground, fuse. You feel like somebody's looking at your shoulder, Mike?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, we had a day in the woods, and now we had to come in this evening and wrap hay. Silage hay. This little guy, we went in joint venture with a couple other farms down the road to get this a while back. We're actually working, logging here, well, farming here on Grandpa Charlie. Mommy and the boys are around here somewhere. This little guy was neat. Oh, this was a hectic time of the year. This is early June, I believe, or late May. We was logging west of Evansville, and so we was driving like 80-something miles to work, logging all day, struggling there, and then coming back in the evenings and after we got back home. So like we mill fires up at 5:30 in the morning. So let's see. So whatever you're getting the mill, I try to get the mill 15 minutes early. So I try to get the mill 5:15, and Roger and them's already there at that point. But the mill starts up at 5:30. We working all day, coming back home, and get back home around 6:30, and then work till like, I think we finished up tonight at like 9:30. The boys was late for getting back. It was almost out of school or whatever, but they was late getting back for their school to go to bed before school the next day. It got pretty, but we got it all done. It took like, this little project took like 3 nights. Not the wrapping. Wrapping went one night. Larry brought the wrapper down. Thank you, Larry. He's a daggone sweetheart, Larry is. But he brought the wrapper down. Me and Larry mechanicked and ran the wrapper, and then Big Mama fed it with the little loader tractor. And geez, I think me and Larry hooked the wrapper back up after 9 o'clock. And my youngest boy, or one of the twins, Jackson, actually helped us hook it up. Helped me and Larry hook it up in the flashlight at between 9 and 10 or whatever. And he should have been daggone in bed. I think I got him home and Mommy throwed him in the shower like 9:15 or 9:30 or whatever. She was ready to kill me on a school night. Yep. and he's, I think the twins was 8 years old at the time, maybe 9. 8 years old, I believe. So, yeah, that's our parenting. So, now this is, those of you that don't know, this is a silage wrapper. So you can make your hay, instead of getting it dry, you're rolling your hay up green, which is harder on the hay baler because green hay is a lot heavier. So it's harder on your round baler and stuff like that. So I conned Big Mama into making smaller bales because they was driving me nuts. The destruction of the hay baler was. It was, I think, actually making something. I forgot what happened. It sent off a slip clutch or something in the baler or whatever. And I said, well, you're going to have to back down the bale size. That's all there is to it. And, of course, yeah. So the bales are a little smaller, but that works the wrapper too, because we're having a little trouble with the tension rolls on the wrapper. The wrapper's pulling. We had to finagle one of them that don't wrap tight enough because it kept breaking the plastic roll, because we got our tension rollers too. The way they had it from the factory, the tension rollers putting too much tension. I'm gonna have to modify them a little bit. Me and Larry talked about it. So one roll is rolling on the, it's a dual roll system. One roll on the wrapper is rolling looser than the other one to get the task accomplished properly without tearing up stuff.
He ain't right, okay? You have to be a little wild here if you're gonna feed that thing. But no matter. These bales are little, but they're probably 2/3 what a normal bale is. Maybe not quite that much. They're probably about 2/3, but they're silage bales, they're green. And this farmer had it for a cover crop, and it done so good that he actually fertilized it, and then he's selling the hay off of it. And I look at a lot of these fields these farmers have got where they got cover crops on them, and I'm like, man, you should be selling that hay to somebody for silage in the spring, so you can get it off the kinds of plants. But it absolutely smells sweet as sugar. Cows are gonna love it. One thing's for sure, when you're feeding them this kind of silage, you can't feed them hay too, because they won't touch the hay. They'll wait to eat this. It's like candy to them. Well, honey, I don't know if you're still recording or not, but I forgot you. So, I'll have to figure out how to shut you off. If you're not already off. You just sitting here in the dark all by your lonesome.